of Bhagavad Gita. You guys are already done with the second chapter. Today's the last verse, and it's verse 70. So chapter 2 is the longest chapter in Bhagavad Gita. It has 72 verses. So we're only learning up to 70, but that's a big accomplishment for you all to have gone through all of that whole chapter. So good job. Keep going. We're going to go through that verse, chapter 2, text 70, and then we're going to continue with our story, with our Ramayan story. And today we'll be talking about the return and devotion of Bharat. Who remembers who Bharat is? Just a quick question before we start. Nandika?
Bharat was one of Dasharath's sons and Ram's brother.
Excellent. Yeah.
He was I think the second oldest.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. He was the second oldest. Yes. So he's one of the brothers of Lord Ram. Ram has 4 brothers, right? And then he's also...
Wait, no, he has 3 brothers, and including him, it makes 4
You're
kids.
right. Yes. Sorry about that. There's 4 brothers total. And yeah, Ram plus 3 brothers. Yes. Okay, but we'll get more into detail about that story a little later. Let's start with our opening prayers, okay? Let's all unmute and say this together.
One question.
Is it about the Ramayan?
It's about what we're doing today. Like, are we having a Kahoot?
Yes.
Today?
Okay. Yes. So I did tell some of you who were on here earlier, we are having a Kahoot. So just make sure that you have a device you can access the link from, okay? But first we'll go through Bhagavad Gita verse, our last verse, then we'll have our Kahoot, and then we'll continue with our Ramayan story. Okay. Now let's all unmute and we can say our opening prayers together, okay? Ready? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wonderful. I heard so many of you. Okay. So this is our last verse of chapter 2, verse 70. So let me say each line by myself, and then I'll start having you say after me, okay? These lines are a little longer, so I'm going to be using a slightly different tune than usual, okay? So it goes like this. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apa pravishanti yadvat Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakamakami. All right, now I'm going to say one line, and then you all can repeat after me twice, okay? So me first. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam. Your turn. Pratishtam. One more time. Apuryamanam. Together with me, okay? Apuryamanam achala pratishtam. Okay. And remember to keep yourself unmute here so we can hear all of us and we can encourage each other. All right. Next line, I'll do it first and then you, okay? Samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. Now your turn. Samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. One more time. Samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. Okay. Now my turn again. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve. Your turn. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve. One more time. Tadvat
kamayam
pravishanti sarve. Good. Sashantim apnoti nakamakami. Now your turn. Sashantim apnoti nakamakami. One more time. Sashantim apnoti nakamakami. All right, just a little recap on the Sanskrit pronunciation. This is Sanskrit, so some of the letters here sound a little different than what they do in English, okay? So for example, if you just see an A here without a line on top, it sounds like like the sound you hear in umbrella, okay? So for example, this na here, it won't be na, it's gonna be na. All right, so that's just something to remember when you see an A without a line. When you see an A with a line on top, it's going to say ah, ah. So those are the two sounds of A in Sanskrit. And you'll see it a lot in the verses. So just pointing it out so you remember. Okay, so this one here has the A, the line, so it'll sound like ah. Okay, the two sounds of A, and ah. Can y'all say that with me? The short sound is and the long sound is ah. When you don't see a line on top of the A, what sound is it going to make? Good job, Ramaya. And Nitya, well done. And when you see a line on top of the A, what sound will it make? Good job. And there's one more thing here that can be confusing, is when you see a C, okay, it's going to always say ch, ch, okay? So in Sanskrit, this C alone will not say k or s. It's going to say ch. So just remember that, okay? So for example, in this word right here, it's going to say achala, all right? So once again, when you see in our verses, when you see a C, the letter C, what sound is it going to make? Good, like a CH, right? All right, let's go through this verse one more time together, okay? I'll say one line and then I'll have you repeat twice. Apuryamanam achala pratishta. One more time. Apuryamanam achala pratishta. Wonderful. Good job. All right, now my turn again. Samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. Your turn. Samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. One more time. Samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. All right. Tadvat kamayam avishanti sarve. Now your turn. Tadvat kamayam avishanti sarve. One more time. Tadvat kamayam avishanti sarve. All right, my turn again. Sashantim apnoti nakamakami. Now your turn. Sashantim apnoti nakamakami. One more time. Sashantim apnoti nakamakami. All right, I heard some of you singing with me. Well done. Let's go. This is a long verse, so good job trying out. Does anyone want to try the verse on their own? Yes, Dwani, go ahead.
Puryamanam achala pratishtam samudrama apa pravishanti tadvat kama pravishanti sarve sashantim apnoti nakamakami.
Excellent. Wonderful job. Anybody else would like to try? Even if you're unsure, you can still try. Anyone else? Anybody else? Ansh, go ahead.
अपूर्यमाणम् अचलप्रतिष्ठां समुद्रमापा प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिम् आप्नोति न कामकामी.
Excellent job, Ansh. Very good. Good job. Anybody else would like to try? Ramaya, go for it.
Apruyam achal prashtami sandram ap pravishti yadvat tarvat kama yam prasharvi sarve satama aptona kamikam.
Wonderful job, Ramaya. Very good. I saw Samanyu with your hand up.
No, just itchy.
Oh, okay. Does anyone else want to try? Give it a shot? Nope. Nandika Nandini? No. Ashi, do you want to try? Okay, Nitya, go ahead.
Apuryamanam achala pristam samardam samudram apara pravestani prashanti yadva tadva kama yam pravestanti sarve Santem aponti na kama kame.
Wonderful. Very good. Wow. You all did so well. You know, when you say this, when you try saying these verses, because these are direct words by Lord Krishna, they're very purifying for us. So the more we recite these words and we try, even if we don't know how to do it fully, it's very purifying for our heart. And we start to feel more attracted to Krishna and his words and his teachings. So it's very, very purifying to say these words, okay? So good job for all of you who tried, and for all of you who did the call and response with me earlier. Thank you. Great job. Now let's go to the synonyms, okay? Let's read these together, okay? So you can unmute again. We'll read it together. Apuryamanam, always being filled. Achala pratishtam, steadily situated. Samudram, the ocean.
The ocean.
One second, there we go. Apa,
Abba,
waters.
waters.
Pravishanti, enter. Yadvat, as. Tadvat, so. Kama, desires. Yam, unto whom. Pravishanti, enter. Sarve, all. Saha, that person. Shantim, peace. Apnoti, achieves. Na, not. Kama, kami, one who desires to desire. All right. Oh, give me 1 second. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, let's read the translation. Who wants to read the translation? Let's see. Ashi, go ahead.
A person who is not disturbed by the
Incessant.
flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
Great, thank you. Incessant means like a lot of yeah. Incessant means continuous. So yeah, continuous and a lot. Let's see. Okay, Samanyu. Samanyu?
Sorry. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
Good, thank you. Let's see. Anybody else would like to read it? Okay. Nitya?
A person who is not disturbed by incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
Good, thank you. We'll take two more and then we'll continue. Dhwani?
Person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy with such desires.
Very good. And let's see, Ramaya, last one.
A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone
Achieve.
And not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 1 second, let me move you all to this screen. Okay. So here Krishna is giving an example of the ocean, right? Krishna is saying that the ocean, even though all of the different rivers of the world go into the ocean still remains still, right? Of course, it has waves and but it doesn't rise and fall depending on the rivers. It stays constant, right? And so similarly, a peaceful asthita pragya is what Krishna calls a person with steady intelligence. They're undisturbed, even though they have different desires, a different flow of desires. So they may have their senses being attracted to different things, right? But they're not disturbed by those desires, and they're able to tolerate those desires without getting overwhelmed. Oops. However, someone who's not a sthita pragya, who doesn't have that steady intelligence, they have so many desires and they're unable to tolerate, and they're unable to see which ones are beneficial for them and which ones are not, which ones are good and which ones are not. And they try to fulfill all their different desires, but it's really hard to fulfill because we have so many desires all the time, right? Our mind is constantly going on and on and on, and our senses are constantly aware of what's going on in our environment. So if we try to satisfy all those desires, there's so many that are still not going to be satisfied, and we're just going to end up being frustrated. So this is someone who is unable to distinguish which desires are good, which desires are not, and are getting completely frustrated because of all of those desires. But a person with steady intelligence, as Krishna is saying, they're able to tolerate all those different desires coming from their senses and their mind, and they're able to remain fixed in their duties and not get carried away. And there's also another, let's see. Yeah, there's another example as well, where when there's a big storm, right? A mountain won't get disturbed, right? The mountain won't start to break off. The mountain won't collapse by a big storm. But if there's a small hut on the ground, when there's a huge storm like a tornado or hurricane, that hut will be immediately destroyed, right? So similarly, the person of a steady intelligence, right? They're like that mountain. Even though the storms of desires are coming to them, they're not disturbed. They don't start to break. They don't become distracted. And in turn, they even, just like how mountains after that big storm, they look very beautiful, right? Have any of you seen a forest after a storm? Can raise your hand. What did you notice? And if you've seen a forest after a storm, what did you notice about it? I saw, did you raise your hand? No? How many of you have seen a forest after a storm? Or a tree after a storm? Okay, Sarvi, what did you notice about that tree? What did you notice about the leaves?
It was broken.
It was broken. Okay. Okay, maybe a tree is too small of an example. Let's think of a forest. If you've seen, say, maybe if you're driving with your parents, right? And there was a storm, but then along the side of the road, you see there's that foresty area that sometimes is on the border of a road. What do you notice about that after a storm? Ramaya.
It was a little windy.
Okay.
When we were going to Tahoe,
Mm-hmm.
there was like on the mountain there was a lot of trees, but
Okay.
they were like moving a lot.
They were moving.
Yeah.
Did you see the leaves? Did you see, were they still dusty or dirty, or were they green and bright?
Like green.
Yeah. So that's often what happens when after a rainfall, right? Big forests that they're no one goes and washes the leaves, right, of those trees and of the branches. No one goes with their soap and bucket and scrubs the leaves, right? But after a huge rainstorm, those trees are automatically cleaned, right? And they're if you go by next time you go by a forest after a rainstorm, notice how all the leaves are very bright green, right? They don't have that dust anymore that comes from cars or, just daily life. They're all clean and green. So in the same way, a devotee, a person who has a steady intelligence, because they use their senses for Krishna's pleasure, right? Their mind is focused and fixed. And when they have all these desires that are entering into their mind from their senses, like how we see with the rainstorm, how it falls onto the mountain, they in turn, because they learn to tolerate those desires and not just do whatever their mind tells them to do, their heart becomes purified and it becomes beautiful because they're learning how to they're using their tolerance to see what is good for me and what is not good for me. Which one of these desires is a good desire, is something that I can use in Krishna's service, and which one is not? Which one is going to be not good for me? It's going to take me down a bad road, right? So in turn, by tolerating all those desires, a person of steady intelligence or a devotee of Krishna their heart becomes cleaned, just like the forest after rainfall gets cleaned, right? Or the mountain becomes cleaned and resplendent and beautiful. And when our heart gets purified, we become even more beautiful, become really beautiful people, right? Let me see if I have anything else here. Oh, okay. Well, that is it for our verse today. And so now we're going to go to the Kahoot. The Kahoot is for chapters 1 and 2, okay? So let's do a really quick recap of chapter 1 and 2 before we do the Kahoot, okay? chapter 1. Who can tell me what was happening in chapter 1? Raise your hand. Anything you remember from chapter 1? Yes, Ramaya.
Ramayana.
Oh, not Ramayan yet. We're still on the Bhagavad Gita. But what has happened in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Does anyone remember anything? I know it was a long time ago. The very first verse is Dhritarashtra. He's talking. Does anyone remember anything?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, yes. Okay. Nandini?
So it was about the Battle of Kurukshetra.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So,
And
yeah, Dhritarashtra asks, yes, Dhruv.
What it's Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharmashetra Kurukshetra Samavaya Yutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimma Kurvata Sanjaya. When Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, when the Pandavas and the Kauravas assembled at the holy place of Kurukshetra, what did they do?
Yeah, very good. That's the first verse. So Dhritarashtra, all the Pandavas and the Kauravas, remember? They're getting ready to fight on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So the first chapter starts off with Dhritarashtra asking Sanjay about about the war and what happens on the battlefield, right? And then what else happens? Does anyone else remember anything that happens? Nitya?
tells Krishna, I can't do this.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Arjuna asks Krishna to take him, ride his chariot to the middle of the two armies so he can see the two armies, right? And then you're right. Arjuna says, Krishna, I can't do it. I can't fight. I feel afraid. And then what happens?
I know.
Oh, Nandika?
Arjuna's telling Krishna like he can't fight against his like everybody on his family is on the other side and he doesn't want to like kill them. So yeah. And I remember the part, I don't know like what it's called basically.
Okay, yeah. In the end, Arjuna also tells Krishna something. What does he say? He says, he tells Krishna, now I'm your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Okay, that's something to remember, right? He tells Krishna, he says, I am perplexed. I don't know what to do. You have to tell me. What do I do? I don't want to fight, right? And then Krishna starts to talk about
the soul.
Yes, good job. He starts to talk about the soul and how the soul is eternal, right? And that because of that, Arjuna should not lament. Okay, so that's kind of how the first chapter ends and leads into the second chapter, okay? And then the second chapter also talks about the soul, right? Krishna talks about the soul. And what else have we been talking about more recently in the second chapter? Does anyone remember? Ashi?
Where that Rama goes to the forest, that one?
That's Ramayan. But in Bhagavad Gita, what have we been talking about with the verses? Remember, we talked about desires, we talked about the senses, anything related to that you can remember. And then we'll start in about a minute. Nandini? Oh, you're okay. Can you say that again? You were muted.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, that's okay. Anyone else remembers anything else about the senses? Ramaya?
Like the seasons.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Happiness and distress, right? Happiness and sadness come and go like seasons. And one should learn to tolerate them without being too disturbed, right? Because they're like seasons, like summer and winter. One comes after the other and you can't change it, right? Okay, good. I think we have a nice little recap. Does anyone have anything else that you want to share before we start? Nandini, did you remember what you were going to say?
No, but I just want to ask something. Can minutes be on different devices? instead of like on the same.
Oh, yes. So I said this earlier. I'll say it again. If you are sharing your screen with your sibling, you can get another device so you can do it separately. That's fine. While I'm getting the link up, you can get another device. That's okay with me. And if you want to do it together, that's okay as well. It's up to you.
Okay.
And is everyone else ready with a device? Yeah?
Mom,
Okay.
I'm using my.
Ash, do you have anything else you want to say?
Can someone help me?
No? Okay. All right, let me start. Okay. So please go to this website right here. And when you're on that website, give me a thumbs up so I can share a different screen. Okay, I see Ashi, Ansh, we're waiting for a few more. When you go to that website, give me a thumbs up.
Isn't there supposed to be
A game pin? Yes. Once you're
No.
all on,
QR code to like get into the thing? There's usually.
yeah, I don't have the QR code, but if you go to this website, then I'll give you a pin that you can go in.
How do you go to the website?
You can type it into your searching bar.
Just type it on Google.
Yeah, if you type it in Google, you'll get it.
Okay.
And it should take you to let me show you what it should look like when you go
This
to that
is the
website.
biggest screen you need. You don't even need something bigger than this because it's just going to show 1, 2, 3, 4.
It should look like this for you. When you
No,
have this screen in
the
front of
question is
you.
on the host screen.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I have to leave the meeting, I think.
Oh no.
No, you
Okay. Oh, you mean for the Kahoot?
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. I got you. Hold up.
Is your brother gonna help you?
Well, how do you?
If
you
you
go back
you should be able to stay on the meeting. You just go to a
Where's the
tab on
game
Google. Okay, now let me show you the game pin. Give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment.
Can you go back for a minute?
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
You want the link?
Oh, here it is.
You got it?
I'm 1 minute. I'm gonna help my sister.
Okay. Okay. Let me get the game pin for you.
It's not.
Go to the Kahoot.
1 minute. It's not. Let it.
You doing? Not Kahoot.
Wait. 1 minute.
Hold up.
Oh, okay. Here is actually
We're gonna need some help.
here's a QR code also, friends. Here's a QR code.
What's the QR code?
Yes, you can use this QR code if you need.
I got it. I don't.
Good. What are you trying to do?
I'm looking for the QR code.
Okay, hold on.
You can just type in the pin. Just type in the pin.
Okay, the game pin.
Okay, we have some of you joining.
No, first you write. No, first you write the game pin. Game pin.
So game pin 249 9120 49 98. And 249 49 91.
Okay, once you log in, give me a thumbs up emoji so I can see that you all are in, okay?
I don't have it.
It's okay, just give a name.
Okay, here. Yes, I do.
I think we have almost everyone, right? Maybe we're missing one person, is that right?
It's me. I need to join.
Okay,
It's
okay.
me that are.
Nandika, okay.
Yeah, me and Nandini.
Does anyone else need help joining?
I need to join. I know how to.
Oh, Ansh,
Yeah.
are you able to join?
Wait, I'm joining.
Okay, there's a QR code here too if you need it.
I'm still coming. Okay. Oh, tiger. Or don't be taken.
And these questions have a 4-minute time limit. Don't take 4 minutes though. Try to answer them quickly.
I joined.
But I put it there so that you don't have to rush. You can think about the question, okay?
I joined.
You joined? Okay, are we waiting for anyone else?
I joined.
Okay, Ansh joined. I see Ashi has your thumbs up.
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that's all of us, right?
I'm there.
Ramaya, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
There's
all right,
11
friends.
people.
Only do this, and this is always there. Yeah.
There's
All
11
right.
people in them. Okay, I'm done. You see
Good.
me?
What is your name?
But
No,
both-
you're right.
both-
Oh, I am. Okay, never mind.
Ready, Nandika?
Yes.
Okay, I will start. I think you can still join afterwards. You'll just need to put in the pin. Yes, Ramaya.
It says achievements.
Did you put in the pin for the game?
Don't click achievements. Don't click. Oh, yeah,
It's just a thing.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna
Okay.
start it and let's see if you can all see the question. Did it work for all of you?
Yeah.
Mine's loading. Mine loading.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Autumn, mine is showing something blue that says your network is slow, so you might experience delays. I don't know that.
Okay, that might be your Wi-Fi, but try and see if you can see the question. And here's the first question. Why did Dhritarashtra have a fear of losing the battle? I have 8 answers. 9 answers. Oh, 10. Okay, just 11. Okay, 12. I think we're waiting for 1 or 2 more people.
Has everybody got their answers in yet? I did.
I think we're waiting for 1 more person. 1 more answer.
Come on.
Whoever hasn't done it, they can do it. I think that's my brother.
No, I didn't.
Bruh.
Okay, who still needs to answer?
We're done.
I'm
All right.
too.
Okay, good. A lot of you got it right.
Correct.
Oh, that's right. Only 1 person. Okay. So both red and yellow. Yeah, so these 2 were the answers. These 2.
Okay, you're cooked. Now.
All right, next one.
Who is this? R.A.
Why did Arjuna ask Krishna to drive his chariot into the midst of the 2 armies?
What? Why did the earth not?
Look at them carefully because there might be more than one answer.
Hang on, something happened. It's okay. Uh,
7 answers. Okay. 10 answers. 3 more answers. Two more answers. 2 more answers. If you haven't answered yet, please answer now.
Wait, how many people have joined? 13.
13.
Come on.
Okay, 2 more people.
Chop.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Come on. It's hard. What? I thought it was the delay stuff.
How many questions are there?
10 questions.
Just of the two.
Okay. Those 2 of you who haven't answered should pick something.
Just
Yes,
pick a random one. You might get lucky.
Yeah. What? Maybe you'll get lucky. If you don't, sorry.
I mean, she technically.
Okay, one more
Okay,
answer.
I'm done. Okay, one more.
Last answer.
Come on, you can do it.
Just answer something.
This is a good answer. You can do it. Aishman, are you still doing it?
No.
I answered. It's taking me forever.
All right.
Mm,
Let's do
Wait,
10 more seconds. Otherwise, I'll have to skip
It
it.
just took me out. It just took me out.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Okay, 1 minute. I entered the game pin again, so you might just want to wait. Wait, what's the game
It's at the bottom over here.
499120.
pin? 2499120. 99120. 2, 4.
Who hasn't answered?
Clicking.
Okay, whoever hasn't answered, please answer now.
Tick, tock.
Who hasn't answered?
I'm not sure.
But
I
just
can't
skip.
see it.
Okay,
Come on, just click an answer.
come on, 10 seconds left.
Not that
9,
hard.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done.
Okay.
No.
Some of you got it. This was also a tough one because there were 2 answers. Good job. All right, next question.
And 14.
Now for this next question, please try to finish within the first, now let me see how many seconds are there going to be. Finish within the first 100 seconds, okay?
Arjuna finally
Read it.
Arjuna finally casts aside his bow and sits down on the chariot, having decided not to.
Wait,
So
wait,
Arjuna sits down on his chariot,
wait.
puts away his bow, decides not to.
Wait. What I meant mean?
3 more answers.
I
What does
definitely,
Arjuna decide not to do?
I definitely got it wrong.
Inquire.
If I got it wrong,
I accidentally clicked it.
No, you did not read it. It's
it
just
just accidentally just pressed something. Accidentally, like it just did it, and then like while I was trying to get out of something, the question just appeared
Okay.
at.
Oh, good job. Most of you got this one.
I did blue.
Okay, we have
Done. It's done.
next question. Please don't take the whole time. Try to do it as quick as you can.
Okay.
Why is Arjuna confused and has lost his composure? This is directly from one of the verses.
Oh, I remember this. Why are you not confused? It's is it pure genius or a guesswork?
Give more
That's what it
answers.
for some reason. Easy does it.
Why was Arjuna confused and lost his composure? Because of his miserly weakness, because of his love, because of his ill health, because he was acting like a brahmana. 3 more answers. Don't take all the time. Okay, 2 more answers. 1 more answer. All right. Good job. Okay, a lot of you got the right answer because of his miserly weakness.
Third place.
Finally, Arjuna accepts Krishna as his disciple, spiritual master, friend, none of the above.
Friend. It's or
Finally, Arjuna accepts Krishna as his
Wait, what does disciple mean again?
disciple means student.
Oh. Remember? It's I know exactly what it is.
Okay. Spiritual master, because he says, now I'm your disciple, which means he's accepting Krishna as his spiritual master. There we go.
No.
Okay.
Head. Oh.
Why is a self-realized soul not bewildered by changing body from boyhood to old age and then to death? Why are they not disturbed by that? Why is a self-realized person not disturbed by the changing of the body? Because he knows everything?
What is
Because he
void?
believes in the next life? Because in the end, everything becomes void? Void means empty, nothing. Only the body changes. The spirit soul doesn't go through any changes. 9 answers already. Good.
10 answers.
And now, yeah.
11. Come on, everybody. 190, 197, not 196, 195, 194, not 193. 190, 188, 187, 186, 185, 194.
Hurry up.
Okay. Oh, very good, everyone. That was right.
What? Everybody picked up. Oh.
All right, 3 more. Why should one not be disturbed and tolerate happiness and distress? Because they're fake, because they arise from sense perception, all of the above, because why worry? Think of everything we've talked about in the second chapter.
What?
3 more answers. Please don't take all the time because if I skip it, you won't get your scores. Okay, one. Yes, good job. Hey, good job. Mostly everyone got the right answer. Okay, next one. What is the size of the soul? 1,000th part of the tip of the hair? 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair? 100,000th of the tip of the hair? And 1,000,000th tip of the hair. What sounds right to you?
I don't know. It's either. I think it's red or yellow. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I have no idea. Like I keep forgetting. There's like a bunch of things in my mind. It's like, boom, it's this one. I don't know. It's red or yellow. I have no idea. Don't.
You have until 150 seconds, okay?
150 seconds. Hurry up.
Don't make me skip it because then you won't get your score.
See, you can fix me.
3 more. Choose whichever you think, whichever you remember.
It's right.
Okay, 1 more answer. Okay, 1/10,000. Good job. All right, 2 more questions. Who is a person of steady intelligence? One who restrains his senses, one who fixes his consciousness on Krishna, both red and yellow, none of these. Think of it very carefully. Two more answers. Okay, good job. Both red and yellow. One who restrains his senses and one who fixes his consciousness on Krishna. So one who uses his senses in Krishna's service. Okay, one last question. What is the correct technique for controlling the mind? All of the senses must be engaged in Krishna consciousness. Any number of the senses must be engaged in Krishna consciousness, or that means Krishna's service. Any one of the senses must be engaged in Krishna consciousness. None of the above.
What does consciousness mean again?
Consciousness means, well, in this case, let's say Krishna's service. That I should have put that instead. So all of the senses you're using for Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's service, any one of the senses, or any number of the senses. It's a tricky play on words. Okay, 3 more answers. 2 more answers.
2 more.
1 more answer.
2 more answer.
Wow, most of you got it. Yeah, all of the senses must be engaged in Krishna's service. All right, let's see.
I was in 4th place.
Who is Skeleton King?
Whoever Skeleton King
Us
is.
too. Us too.
I was King Skeleton.
Oh, okay.
I was
Skeleton's a popular name.
I was skeleton. Us two was skeleton
Oh,
king.
wow. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. Good job participating.
Whoever Skeleton King is yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the smartest one here because you always win.
Okay, I'm sure as we play more Kahoots, you all will get better and better at these questions. Okay.
Pancakes on his head. So you're crazy koala. Yes, basically.
Okay, friends, we're running out of time, so I'm going to go through our Ramayan story very, very quickly. So in where we're at in Ramayan right now, let's do a quick little recap. What happened last time? Does anyone remember one thing that happened last time?
Wait, I know exactly what happens.
Okay, Nandika, Nandini?
Dashrath passed away, and Bharat's meetings with people, or meeting his
Okay, how about you say something, your sister says something.
and then grandparents, okay, and then he doesn't know that Dashrath passed away,
Okay.
and then he and then
okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So Bharat was not in Ayodhya, right? And Dasarath had, Kaikeyi had asked those 2 boons from Dasarath, and Dasarath had to fulfill them, right? So he sent Ram. What were the 2 boons? Let me see someone who has not said anything yet. See, Ansh, could you tell me what the 2 boons were?
to banish Ram to 14 years of exile and give Bharat the king,
The throne, kingdom. Yeah, those were the 2 boons that Dasarath had to give to Kaikeyi, right? So he ended up sending Lord Ram, and Sita and Lakshman wanted to go with Ram. So all 3 of them went to the forest for 14 years. And then, meanwhile, Bharat was not in Ayodhya. What happened was he was in his grandfather's place. And actually his grandfather, his name was Ashwapati. I know some of you asked me last time and I didn't know. So his name was Ashwapati, King Ashwapati. So Bharat was at his grandfather's palace. And while he was there, he started to have some really bad dreams. And by those dreams, when he woke up, he felt that, oh, I think something bad is happening to either my father or one of my brothers. Maybe one of us are going to die. he didn't know anything that was going on. Remember, there was no phone calls, there was no email, there was no anything at that time. So he didn't know what was happening, that his father had already passed away. But he had those dreams. And when he woke up, he felt very disturbed. And then that same day, some messengers came from Ayodhya to tell Bharat that he had to come back immediately. So Bharat and Shatrughna, those were the other two brothers of Lord Ram, right? They said their goodbyes to Bharat's grandfather, King Ashwapati, and they made their way back to Ayodhya. Now they had chariot travel back then, so it took them about 7 days to come back to Ayodhya. So after 7 days, when they reached Ayodhya, Bharat saw that the whole town, the whole city was completely depressed, right? It wasn't its usual self with, bustling travelers and lively people. It was completely sad and completely devastated. And then he told his charioteer, he said, I think something has happened. I think maybe my father has passed away, but he didn't know anything at that point. So as soon as he came, he went to his mother's palace, Kaikeyi, right? His mother was Kaikeyi. And he paid his respects and he asked Kaikeyi, what's going on? And as soon as Kaikeyi saw him, she was so happy. She said, oh, you're here. Guess what happened? You're going to be king. And Bharat was so confused because last he heard Ram was going to be king. So he said, I don't understand. And so basically Kaikeyi told him what had happened, that while he left, King Dasarath decided that he was going to put Ram as the king. And so Kaikeyi went and, like how we heard last time, she asked her 2 boons from Dasarath so that Ram could be banished and that Bharat could be king. So as soon as Bharat heard this, he was furious. As you can see here, he was so furious. He wanted Ram to be king. He didn't want to be king for himself. Remember, we were trying to figure out what would he think last time? So he was very upset. He was not happy at all with this decision. And immediately Kaikeyi began to feel bad. She started to realize that she had done something wrong by asking for those boons. And so Bharat, he immediately went to see his father, and then he found out that his father had actually passed away. And he also found out that his father passed away because he was so sad that Ram would have to leave, right? So Bharat's whole world is crumbling at this point. Ram, his best brother, is gone to the forest. His father had passed away. And now the whole kingdom, they think that he was part of the conspiracy, right? They think that he was also part of this plan, that he wanted to be king. So now everyone is they think he's an enemy of Ram, and they don't like that. So he had to explain to the different ministers and people of the kingdom that he did not want this to happen. It was not his plan. And so now that Bharat was there, Bharat and Shatrughna, Vashishta Muni, the guru of the whole family, he said, now you have to perform the last rites of your father. You have to do the funeral. So they took King Dasarath's body by procession to get cremated, right? To get burnt, cremated, and to do the last rites for King Dasarath. So Bharat and Shatrughna, they did those last rites for Dasarath, and they were so devastated. They were gone for a few weeks, and everything completely collapsed, right? Their father passed away, Lord Ram went away, so they were so devastated. But anyway, it was their duty, so they had to do the last rites of King Dasarath. And once they finished that, the ministers, they started to tell Bharat, well, even though you didn't want to be part of this whole conspiracy, now we don't have a king here. So you need to be king. But he didn't accept it. He said, no, this kingdom, this throne belongs to Lord Ram, and I don't want to take it. Let's go to the forest, let's go find Ram, and let's convince him to come back and rule Ayodhya. So everyone, they were happy. They thought, oh, yes, that's a great idea. Let's go and see if Ram will come back. Let's go and persuade him. So Bharata was very happy that everyone was on board with this plan. So he said, okay, let's make a big highway, big road, starting from Ayodhya, going all the way into the forest, so that we can all go easily to the forest and we can bring Ram back and we can have a nice road for him to come back on. So immediately all the many of the architects and engineers, they got together and they built this beautiful road really quickly. And they all, I heard someone. Here, I'll go through the story quickly and then we can have some questions and comments at the end, okay? Since we're almost out of time. So most of the citizens of Ayodhya, along with Bharat and Shatrugna, they went onto that road and they went towards the forest. And also the different, the mothers, right? Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra, they also followed them. And what happens next? And so remember how last time when Lord Ram went through the forest, he met several different people, right? He met King Guha, who served him very nicely. He also met Sage Bharadwaj. And then he finally went to Chitrakoot, which is where he made his hut with Sita and Lakshman, and they were living there already for 3 months. So it took them about 3 months between the exile to when Bharat did all the final rites and then came to see Lord Ram. So Bharat and all of the Ayodhya citizens, they went through the forest, right? And they went in the same order. They first met King Guha, and Guha was a little suspicious because he saw when Bharat was coming, he saw that he had a whole army. You know, he was coming with his army and he was coming with all the different Ayodhya citizens. So he got a little nervous and he thought maybe Bharat is coming to attack Ram. Maybe he wants to kill Ram so that he doesn't have any threats at all. So King Guha was decided to go and ask Bharat. So as Bharat was coming towards King Guha's area, they met each other and King Guha asked him, "What's your purpose? Why are you here?" And then when he heard that Bharat actually was really wanting to bring Ram back to Ayodhya, he felt pacified and he said, "Okay, I'm going to help you find Ram." So he sent him towards what's his name? Sage Bharadwaj's place of residence. He said Lord Ram went in that direction. So he arranged for Bharat to go and meet Sage Bharadwaj, and which Bharat did. And then Sage Bharadwaj, he allowed them to stay the night in his area, and he created a very amazing facility so that all of the people who came with Bharat could stay overnight there peacefully. And then the next day came, and Sage Bharadwaj pointed them in the direction of where Ram went. So all together, they all went towards the Chitrakoot mountain. And as they were getting there, they noticed a little column of smoke coming from the distance through the trees. And when they saw that, they realized that Ram must be there because someone must be making that fire. So they were so happy, and they slowly, you know, they're making their way there. And because there were so many of them in that procession, right? After Bharat, there was so many warriors and armies, and there was also the people from Ayodhya. So there were so many people. And all the different forest animals were getting scared, right? When a big, even when we walk through a forest, right? The animals, the birds, the deer, they run away from us, right? So imagine a whole group of people, whole procession of people coming through the forest. All the birds, all the deer were starting to scatter in different directions. And Lord Ram, he noticed that the different animals were starting to run around. And so he told Lakshman, he said, "Climb that tree and see what's going on around. The animals don't look very peaceful right now like they normally do." So Lakshman climbed a tall tree and he saw from a distance that...
Wasn't with Ram?
Can you say that again?
Wasn't Lakshman? Yeah, Ram said it, not Bharat. Ram said it. Oh.
Okay. So Lakshman climbed the tree as Ram told him to, And he saw Bharat's, he couldn't exactly see who it was there, but he saw a whole procession, right, with armies and with regular people. And so he came down and he told Ram, he said, there is some armies, there's some sort of procession coming our way. And so Ram said, okay, see what kind of flag they have so we know where they're coming from. In those days, different kingdoms had flags, just like how now different countries have flags, right? So different kingdoms had flags to identify who they were. So Lakshman went back there and he saw that it was the flag of Ayodhya, right? And so that's when he thought, he said, oh, Bharat must be coming to attack Ram. That's what Lakshman thought. So he came down and he told Ram, it's Bharat from Ayodhya. He's probably coming here to attack you and finish you off so that he has no threats to the throne. And Ram immediately, he didn't agree with that. He said, yes, I'm sure that's Bharat, but he's definitely not coming to attack me. I'm sure he's coming to take me back to Ayodhya. So then Lakshman, he felt a little bad about what he said. And anyway, Bharat came towards Ram and they finally met. Ram and Bharat and Shatrughna and all the mothers, right? And everyone else was there as well. And Bharat was so happy to see Ram, but at the same time, so sad to see him with his matted hair, right? He had put some tree sap into his hair and it was all matted now. He was wearing tree bark, and Sita and Lakshman were dressed in the same way. They were only eating berries and roots from the trees, from the forest. So Bharat was so sad to see this at the same time. They were coming from such a royal, such a fancy, palace to this kind of situation. So when Bharat saw Ram, he was so happy. At the same time, he was so sad. And he told Ram everything what had happened, that Dasarath had passed away. And Ram was devastated to hear that his father passed away, because he wasn't there when Dasarath had left, right? When Dasarath had passed away, Ram had already gone. So he was very, very sad. And so he went with Bharat, they all went to the river Ganga and they offered some prayers for their father. And then Bharat began to persuade Ram. He said, Ram, you have to come back. This throne doesn't belong to me. I don't want it. You have to come back. And then Ram said, no, Bharat, I'm following the orders of our father. He told me to leave, to come to the forest, and I have to follow this. And then back and forth, they were having an argument. Bharat was saying, no, I'm younger than you. If you're older than me, you should be on the throne, not me. I'm supposed to serve you. And he was very adamant. He did not want to go back and rule Ayodhya. He wanted to bring Ram back. And on they were debating with each other. And finally, some demigods from the higher planets, they came and they said, Bharat, please follow Ram. And because the whole reason, why Ram came was to kill Ravana, right? Because Ravana was this very big demon that was really terrorizing the whole planet. So this whole the whole exile happened so that Ram would come closer to killing Ravana. Because if he just stayed in Ayodhya, he probably wouldn't have to see Ravana much. And then maybe Ravana would never get destroyed. So the demigods, they were really trying to, they came and they told Bharat, please follow Ram's advice and go back to Ayodhya and rule the kingdom. And then finally Bharat, he accepted it, and he brought these shoes. You can see there's some shoes right here. They're wooden shoes, and they had some gold plated on there as well. And he said, Ram, please step into these shoes. So Ram stepped into them, and then Bharat took those shoes and he said, I will place these shoes on the throne and they will be ruling Ayodhya. I won't rule Ayodhya. They will rule Ayodhya as representative of you. And I will just be, I'll be just ruling on behalf of you. So he finally bade farewell to Lord Ram, and he took those shoes back to Ayodhya. And everyone went back with him. They were very, very sad that Lord Ram didn't come. They were so sure that Lord Ram would come back, but he didn't. So everyone, they were very distressed, and they made their way back to Ayodhya. And Bharat also said that he won't stay in the palace because Lord Ram is staying in the forest. Bharat said, I will stay on the outside of Ayodhya in a little hut, and I'll rule Ayodhya on behalf of Lord Ram from there. So he was just acting as a servant to Lord Ram and helping to rule the kingdom so that there would be someone who was ruling the kingdom, but he was doing it only for Ram until Ram came back. And he placed those shoes that Lord Ram stepped into, he placed them on the throne. So he never sat on the throne. He kept the shoes on the throne, and he was only just serving as on behalf of Lord Ram, so that Ayodhya could have someone to rule. And this is him. You can see he put the shoes on a throne here. And he was constantly, for those 14 years, he was constantly thinking of Lord Ram and just doing that as a service to Lord Ram, because he had no other desire to rule the kingdom. And yeah, so that's where we're going to leave off. And next we're going to hear about Lord Ram, Sita, and Lakshman, and more about what happens in the forest. So Ayodhya, we won't hear more about Ayodhya until later. For now, we know that Bharat is there, and he's serving Lord Ram through the shoes that he got from Lord Ram, that Lord Ram stepped into, and he's just there just to fulfill Lord Ram's wish of Bharat going and taking care of the kingdom. So that's Ayodhya now, okay? And then we'll hear more about what happens in the forest next time. And I know it's late, so we're going to end here. Let's say the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra together, just to finish up. And then we all can go ahead. Okay, you can unmute. We'll say it together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. All right, friends, thank you so much for staying so a little bit longer today. If you have anything else you want to say now, that's okay. If you need to leave, you can leave also. I know it's really late. And we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Okay, Ramaya.
Bye. I like
Bye.
Thank you. I like the
Thank
Kahoot.
you. You like the Kahoot? Okay, that's good.
Thank you, Mataji.
We'll be playing
Bye-bye.
some more.
Yes.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
I have one question.
Yes.
So, are we not supposed to have Gita classes because school is over?
Can you say that one more time?
So you're saying for some people school is over,
Yes.
like it's summer vacation. So do you know like when there's no more classes?
I think we will be having these classes throughout the summer. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm sure Anisha Mataji will put it in the chat if in case there's any changes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.